So I'm going to share with you about growing up in West Virginia and then how I got to Sierra Leone, West Africa, and that journey. So you ready to go on the journey?
Why did you feel the need to search out your birth parents? Was it something you'd wanted to do for a long time?
Yeah, it was. You know, I did this training and development program called Landmark Education. I was like, I want to have a breakthrough in my acting, but something completely different showed up. I realized that I was terrified to find my biological father. I had no expectations. I didn't even know if I'd get a phone call return. I just had to say, you know what? If he calls, great. If he doesn't, I have to be okay with it. But I don't want to be 60, 70 years old going, gosh, I wish I'd found out. And so you just have to let it all go and take a risk.
We're going to Africa. We're going to meet my dad. And I don't know what to expect.
I was first adopted. My mom called my grandmother, her mother, to tell her that they had adopted me. And the call went a little bit like this. Mom, we've adopted this new little girl, Sarah. She's really cute. She's got all this curly hair. It's gonna be really, really great. We're gonna come home this summer. You're gonna get a chance to meet her. It's gonna be fabulous. Mom? Hello? And then my grandmother says, Judy? I told you I think adopting this black little girl is only gonna cause problems in our family and I don't wanna talk to you about it. Click. And my grandmother hung up on my mom. Now, my mom in her just 5-foot self said, okay, well, we're gonna go to Litchfield, Illinois, like we always do, and we're gonna see the family. So everybody got in the car, drove to Litchfield, Illinois. Lynn, Laura, Benji the dog, me, my dad. And we got out and walked up to the farmhouse and my grandmother walked out. She walks out and my mom gets out of the car holding me, Benji the dog, my sisters walk out and my dad gets out of the car. And my grandmother looks at me, she looks away, then she looks back at me and she says to my mother, can I hold her? And in that moment, my mom said I was breaking racial barriers within my own family.
Growing up with adoptive parents in West Virginia, Sarah Culberson always wondered about her biological roots. She found out her birth mother died of cancer 12 years ago. Setting aside her fears of being rejected by her biological father, Sarah hired a private investigator to find him. She found him in Africa.
So I wrote a letter to Maryland and sent it off. 4 days later, I got a phone call. I picked up the phone, I said, hello, and there was this woman on the other line, and she said, I'm your auntie. We received your letter. And I started to bawl. She said, Sarah, I was there when you were born. I used to take care of you when your birth mother would go to the grocery store. She said, hold on, let me get your uncle on the phone. And then my uncle gets on the phone, he goes, oh, Sarah! I was like, whoa! He said, we are so happy you've been found. Do you know who you are? And I'm like, I'm Sarah? You are part of a royal family.
What was it like? We saw some of the video when you returned there. How did they receive you?
They were amazing. There were about 200 to 300 people there to welcome me in this ceremony, singing, dancing, and I was like, what did I do to deserve this? I'm just Sarah from West Virginia. That's how I grew up, and everyone was so loving and so generous, and it was amazing. I mean, it was all exciting at the beginning and beautiful, and then I was there, I started to see people with their hands cut off, with missing arms from the Civil War that went on there for 11 years. And I just thought, you know what can I do to help? I've come here for a reason. I've come all this way and found my father, and I'm supposed to do something.
It wasn't a movie. I couldn't turn it off like Blood Diamond movies with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jimon Hunsu. I actually saw it, and it was reality, and this was my family.
You know, I think as a princess, there's just a responsibility to take on, which is really what I really wanted to do in rebuilding my father's school in Africa and starting a nonprofit organization to rebuild the school. So The title princess for me means responsibility, and that's what I'm doing.
This is amazing. Like overwhelming. I'm like crying. I don't know what to do, you know?
Sarah Culberson.
From the springs of ill fortune and of glory, and our senses are all opened to the splendor of your beauty, to the smells of your forests, to the charms of your waters, and the clearness of your skies, to the crests of your sun, and the charm of the foliage pearled by your dew. Dry your tears, Africa. Your children come back to you, their hands full of playthings and their hearts full of love. They return to you clothed in their dreams and their hopes. Muyamamuye, we return home. Muyamamuye, we return home. Muyamamuye, Africa, we return home. Africa.